Written comprehension. That is the phrase printed on 8 different New York civil service notices, and if you have gone looking for what it means, you have found reading lessons written for school exams. This is what it means on these ones. Everything you need is written down, and nothing you happen to know counts. That sounds obvious until a choice appears that is completely sensible in real life and simply is not in the passage. Once you truly trust the text, most wrong answers start looking wrong on their own. In the next few minutes, the technique step by step, and then the 4 ways people lose points on it. First, point at the line before you pick. For every option you are tempted by, find the sentence that supports it and put your finger on it. If you cannot point at a line, the option is not supported, however reasonable it sounds. This one habit removes most of the wrong answers on this section. Second, distrust absolutes. Watch for always, never, all, none, only, must. The passage usually says something more careful, may in most cases, unless. An option that turns a qualified statement into an absolute one is the single most common distractor in this format. Third, check direction and check the nouns. 2 more traps reuse the passage's own words. One reverses a condition. The passage says a rule holds whether or not something is true. The option says it holds only if. The other swaps one term for a neighboring one, the passage kept separate. Both feel familiar. Read the direction and the exact nouns before trusting the familiarity. Fourth, for main idea questions, ask what would be lost. A main idea option that names something the passage mentions once is almost always too narrow. Ask yourself, if that line were deleted, would the passage still be about the same thing? If yes, that option is a detail, not the main idea. Now the other half, and it is the half most people skip. These are the 4 ways this ability is actually lost. Not by not knowing, but by answering the question next to the one on the page. First, picking the option that is true in the real world but never stated. Second, accepting an absolute when the passage was careful and qualified. Third, missing a reversed condition because the words looked familiar. Fourth, choosing a main idea that describes one sentence rather than the whole passage. Every one of those is a habit, which means every one of them is fixable by drilling rather than by studying harder. And this is why it is worth the effort. Written comprehension is not one exam's quirk. 8. New York Civil Service exams test it. Traffic Enforcement Agent, 7331. School Safety Agent, 7323. Police Officer, 7313. Correction Officer, 6303. Police Communications Technician, 6329. Special Officer, 6327. Environmental Police Officer, 6305. Special Officer, Health and Hospitals, 6328. Different jobs, different notices, different agencies. The same skill on all of them, which means the practice you put in here is not spent on one application. It follows you to every other exam on that list. Reading about a technique is not the same as owning it, and this one only transfers under a clock. Free practice for written comprehension is at dutyrank.com/exams, with the reasoning shown on every answer. DutyRank is an independent study product and is not affiliated with any government agency.